Hi guys, so welcome to this week's Debrief Live brought to you by Dobby Ads. Dobby is your creative agency specializing in crafting captivating content for Amazon sellers, including product images, enhanced brand content, video ads, storefronts, and AI-specific needs. These are all aimed at boosting your conversion rates of your product listings and elevating your overall brand experience. I'm your host, Amanda, and my guest today is Ahmad from the Source Squad. Ahmad is actually a client of Dobby Ads, and we thought it would be a great idea to bring him on to share some insights into the journey from a business just starting out to become a really successful entrepreneur, because Ahmad has years and years of experience. So we're really excited to have him here today. So welcome, Ahmad. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda. Great to be here.
Great to have you. Now, would you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself and how your business got started and what kind of product business you have, obviously without giving too much away?
Yeah, sure. I got into the Amazon world back in early 2018. My wife actually started doing some arbitrage, retail arbitrage, got a coaching video program and got into it. And at the time I had another business. Once I started sort of looking over our shoulder and learning how the whole Amazon business is and started doing some research, realized that there's huge opportunities here. So I sold my other businesses and just jumped headfirst into Amazon. We started off with the arbitrage, scaled it to the wholesale model. And then a couple of years ago, we launched our first private label brand, and we have sort of increased it since then. We have 2 private label brands with a number of products under them. Also, as part of that journey in 2020, started offering coaching services through FBA Profits. And then I had a warehouse, so I started offering prep and pack services, West Coast FBA Prep. And since then, this year, we just opened our second location in Southern California with a warehouse that has capacity for about 50,000 square feet of space for both 3PL and wholesale clients and arbitrage clients.
Wow, that's impressive. That's been quite a trajectory for you. Did you launch in the US first? Like, what was your first market?
So I launched in the US. I live in California, so I launched in the US. We expanded through the NARF program into Canada and Mexico. And then in our third year, we expanded into Europe and UAE. And then I think it was about a year and a half later where I decided that the whole process of serving the European market from California was just way more cumbersome than it was taking more time than I had. And so we decided to shift our focus back to just a US-based business and shut down all of our stores in the European Union, England, as well as the UAE. So we're now just predominantly focused in the US.
Okay. So what about still doing Mexico and Canada?
Mexico and Canada is still, the NARF program is sort of seamless. So the North American Remote Fulfillment Program that Amazon has, pretty seamless. So we use that. Amazon handles all the logistics. It's still the FBA process. We don't have to ship to Canada or Mexico. We just ship normally to US fulfillment centers, and Amazon distributes them and lists them to those other marketplaces based on whether or not it's approved there or not.
Yeah, so that's relatively easy, isn't it, then for you guys? What would be some of your key learnings and key takeouts that you could share with us about your journey?
Persistence is key. Like any other business, there's going to be ups and downs. We hit 7 figures in sales in our first 12 months, and which was amazing. It was my wife and I driving around doing retail arbitrage. Our house was filled with products. Our kids were helping label everything, and filling boxes and labeling them. As we grew, challenges started presenting themselves. We were lucky enough to where we were able to sort of navigate those challenges, but there's always going to be challenges in this business. Our biggest challenges really started coming to us when we launched our first private label product. It's such a different business model from arbitrage and wholesale that you really your learning curve sort of starts anew. You build your knowledge on Amazon to a certain level, but now with a private label brand, you need to learn branding, you need to learn marketing, you need to learn on Amazon PPC, off Amazon PPC. These are things that as arbitrage or wholesale sellers, you actually have absolutely no need to know, right? Because you're finding listings that are already selling well and you're just adding yourself to them. There were some rough months for us on the private label side, but again, that's part of business. And any kind of challenge that comes your way, when you come on the other side of that challenge, you're much stronger, you're much smarter, and your chances of succeeding are that much greater. And now those challenges have made you stronger, but any competition that might come to you, they're going to have to go through those challenges. And if they can't get through it, well, you're at an elite level, as opposed to them, people who just give up because the challenge was a little bit too hard.
Yeah, this is so true. And, sometimes you don't really know what the challenges are going to be until you just get in and start doing it, and that's the only way to learn is sometimes.
Most of the time you don't, yeah.
is to go through the hard lessons and come out wiser at the other end. What are your thoughts about selling on Amazon in 2024? Like what's ahead? What's the big challenge, do you think?
So Amazon is going to be, since after COVID, after they put billions of dollars into sort of getting everything ready for COVID and through COVID, they've been really nickel and diming people with different fees, and navigating those fees and understanding the impact of those additional fees, and then maneuvering them. In other words, working on creating a specific business plan to make sure that your business and your net profit is minimally impacted by those fees is going to be the biggest and most important part of success going forward, at least in the short term. That's one reason why. So my 3PL, we've gotten so many new clients coming in, and because they've been needing to remove products from Amazon, or they've had orders of containers coming in from China or from their factories, and they don't want to ship all of them to Amazon, because now Amazon has not just the long-term storage fees, but they have the storage fees pretty much starts at 90 days now, whereas before it was 180, it was 360, and then they made it 271 and 180, and sort of. So now it's a lot more important to have inventory management controls. It's a lot more important to have a good 3PL partner stateside to ensure that you don't run out of inventory, but you also don't pay, all of your margins don't go to paying Amazon for storing your products. So that to me is going to be a pivotal short-term strategy that you have to sort of master and get ahead of in order to stay successful and in order to stay profitable on Amazon.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And the inventory fees are a little challenging this year, because not only you had the long-term storage fee, you had the low inventory storage fee. So
that low inventory storage fee is just ridiculous. I don't know what they're thinking, but
yeah,
I know what they're thinking, but it's just, it's not that hard to navigate it. It's very weird, just you need to know what your velocity is for the last 30 to 90 days. And then you just need to make sure you have enough inventory in stock that you don't fall below that. Amazon's goal is to not be a storage facility, but to be a fulfillment center, right? So all their warehouses. So what they want to do is they want to make sure you have enough inventory so that you can never run out of inventory, and you're always having sales, but you're not taking up, racks of their space in their warehouses. So again, that's where good 3PL partner is going to be crucial for it, because if you don't have inventory in the stateside, right, and you run low, amazing, your PPC ads just take off, one of your TikTok go viral, and you run out of inventory, or you're running low on inventory much faster than you anticipated. If you don't have inventory somewhere in the States, you have to order it from China or overseas. It's going to take 45 to 60 days to get to Amazon, maybe longer. You're going to lose all your ranking. You're going to lose all that investment you made on your PPC, and it's really going to hurt your sales going forward. So it's inventory management, and understanding that process is extremely important.
Yeah, it's also, understanding and getting really doubling down on all of that, like the shipping plans, the transit times, the check-in times, all of that has to be really nailed, I think, to be able to manage that stock level, so you're not sort of being charged for long-term storage fees or being charged with a low inventory fee, which I think a lot of people are just waiting to see what's going to happen when it kicks in March, and then plan accordingly, because I think everybody's in the same position where they're just like, we don't know what's going to happen kind of thing. Yep. Yeah. So it's going to be and I'm sure Amazon won't. I think the only thing that is constant with Amazon is change.
That's it.
Yeah. It's a matter of adapting, isn't it? And just
always have to pivot. You always have to adapt. I hear a lot of Amazon sellers, especially newer sellers, that they get frustrated and they start complaining. And my goal always, if they're a coaching client or they're part of our network, is to help them understand that negative mindset is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's gonna, if you think Amazon is out to get you and you're expecting things to go bad, you've just manifested things going bad, right? You have to keep a positive mindset. You have to keep that there's going to be challenges, and you have to know that there's going to be challenges. What those challenges are, you might not know. What hurdles, what challenges that come your way or Amazon throws at you, it's a fact they're going to do it. It's just a given. You just have to be able to have that mindset that I can handle these challenges. If I can't, I'm going to find somebody who can help me handle these challenges and find a path through the challenges rather than getting negative and getting dissuaded from continuing your business on Amazon just because there was a change on Amazon.
Yeah, agree. And I think that's where that key point you started with at the beginning of the webinar is persistence.
Yes.
And having that community, like, as I said, we'll put those links up in the video description, but having that community such as yours where you can, post sort of a help SOS up on, the community forum to get help is so important if you're feeling really stuck. And and having the right mindset is crucial. I totally agree. And be prepared for the ride of Amazon.
Right. It's a fun ride. It's challenging. You're going to pull your hair out at times. So you might punch a wall or two, but it's a fun ride if you look at it as such, right? If you see it, and it's one of the few businesses and business models out there that's going to allow you to be sitting on a beach on vacation and still be making money and still be running a very profitable business, right? So the freedom is it's available for anybody. It just takes time. It takes a little bit of work. It takes a lot of work, but it's definitely doable. Dumber people than you have done it. So you should be able to do it, whoever you are, whatever your niche is. It's just, you want to take the time to understand what you're doing, to learn the process, and to find a good group of people that can help sort of push you when the times are bad.
Yeah. Would you say that a lot of people I hear say, a lot of salesy people will say, Amazon's your sort of the holy grail to being able to, lie on the beach while you're earning money and only work sort of 4 hours a week. Would you say that would be the case? Like, you can actually get away with building a successful business on Amazon and only doing minimal amount of time per week on it?
You can, yes. If you want to grow that business, you'd have to put in the time. But if you just want to if your goal is to have a side business, a side hustle, you can use Amazon for that. Right, and you can put 3-4 hours a day in it, and you will make sufficient income for whatever that side hustle's goal is. Right, if your goal is to actually use this as your primary source of income, and this is going to pay your mortgage, it's going to pay your car payments and your savings account and your 401k, and this is your life and your future, you need to put in the time. But you can, it's your business. So there might be days you're working 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, but it wouldn't feel like you're working 10, 12 hours a day because it's your business, right? You're invested in it and you're vested in it. But then there will come a time where you've set up the SOPs properly, you have the right team in place, you have the automation done, and now you can go on a 3-month vacation across the world with your family. And during those 3 months, work 2 to 4 hours a day, from wherever you are in the world, as long as there's a Wi-Fi connection, and still maintain that growth rate for your business.
Yeah.
So it's not something that, when people say, you work 4 hours a day on a beach, you can run an Amazon business. It's not a every day, all year long, right? If you want to really succeed, you want to put in the automation, you want to outsource what you can, you want to have the SOPs in place so that things start moving on their own, so that you can then work on your business, on growing that business. And if you have that set up, when you're at home and you're working, your time is spent working on your business and growing it. But there's going to be a time when you're like, everything is good. I don't need to work on growing the business right now. I'm going to go take a life break. I'm going to go on, I'm going to go take my kids cross country for a month or whatever it might be. And you can manage your business, your 7-figure, 8-figure business in 4 hours a day.
Yeah, it definitely gives you that sense of freedom, I guess, and the power to be able to choose how to live your life, which is something that a lot of us really strive to do. And we're not stuck in a corporate cubicle somewhere hating our job every single day. So Amazon definitely gives you that.
You couldn't get me to punch a time card again.
Yeah.
Last time I punched a time card was 2004, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's Yeah.
And I know that you obviously have worked with Dobby. Did you want to share a little bit about how Dobby Ads helped you with your branding or with your products?
Yeah, sure. So, as part of our services, like I said, we offer coaching services. So I have a number of private label clients as well. And I started working with Dobby Ads through our private label brand, and then we started recommending Dobby for our clients. And it was primarily for photo, photography, videography, EBC, and A+ content creation. And I've worked with a lot of different photographers and videographers. The majority of our clients manufacture in China, so we've worked with Chinese ones as well. And there's always been issues. Every single transaction has had issues. Working with Dobby really just sort of made me realize that issues don't have to exist. The fact that you guys have a presence in China and a presence in the States was monumental for us, because we were able to send products directly from the manufacturer, from the factory, to your facilities in China. It was a seamless transaction. You guys handled everything. And then the actual deliverables were done either on time or ahead of schedule, which was extremely important. And they were done right. And then the revisions that we needed were done timely. It was a real seamless process. And that's what, for me, Dobby Ads is so great, because you've made it so seamless. The platform is great, but the communication is even better.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And the quality of work is amazing.
Yeah, and I think one of the other advantages too is really cost competitive compared to some of the other agencies out there, especially if you look at the traditional routes of going down using a traditional videographer or photographer. The expense can get really high.
For sure. You can always find cheaper ones in China, but you have no idea what you're getting, right? It's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with anything in China, there's always going to be a cheaper something, right? That's just the nature of the game in China. But you kind of have no clue what kind of results they have. We have photographers that we have worked with before we met Dobby and got introduced. They would, the first round would be great on time or fairly on time and decent photos and videos. And then the second round or revisions, you just wouldn't hear from them. It just you can't get a hold of them. They wouldn't respond to you. And you're sort of stuck there saying, well, do I need to go now find another photographer? Do I need to go find another videographer? We need these edits. They're minor, but they're important, or before we can actually launch. And the launch date is already set. So yeah, that's the communication and the fact that the value is definitely there.
Yeah, it's so important, isn't it, to have that quality control and just knowing that you can trust the guys to get the job done. And I hear so many stories like that where there's so many cowboys and rookies out there that just disappear or do such a bad job, you have to find someone else to start all over again. So yeah, that's awesome to hear.
Unfortunate, but that's the business environment we live in.
One piece of advice you'd give to someone who's just starting out on their journey onto Amazon?
Find a coach, find a mentor. It is so important to not do this alone, right? You want to learn everything, but if you can find a mentor or a coach that you jive with, the rapport is there, and it's not like a video course where you're just doing the videos. There's actual one-on-one conversations. They're actually helping you on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis, reviewing all of the work that you're doing, helping you on a macro level and a micro level, depending on what your needs are at that moment, and sort of helping you navigate all the obstacles that Amazon throws at you as a new seller, and learning from their network and learning from the community that they're part of. It is absolutely crucial for success, but it's also extremely important to keep you motivated. Because as Amazon sellers, if all you're doing is watching YouTube videos and listening to some podcasts, you're going to be inundated with so many different types of advice, and somebody with a Lamborghini is going to tell you one thing and somebody else is going to tell you don't listen to the Lamborghini guy, and it's just there's a lot of conflicting information out there. So having somebody that can help navigate the information and the path for you, it's absolutely invaluable.
Yeah, this is definitely a big one. I think it gets so overwhelming if you get on the internet and start Googling and YouTubing, and there's just so many different strategies, and yes, there are many different ways to launch, but having that one person that can guide you through step by step is so important. You have a great Facebook community, don't you, where people can jump on and connect with you and learn with you?
I have, I started a meetup, Amazon Sellers Meetup group 3 years ago. Since then, it has expanded to 23 different meetup groups across the country, across the world, actually. We have over 18,000 members, and we are in Europe, in America, and Canada, and the Middle East. We do bi-weekly Zoom virtual Amazon Sellers Meetups. They're free for anybody, and we have different speakers on different topics that come and present on to our membership. So it's community is a huge thing. We also have a large Telegram group chat that is live, 24/7. Brand new sellers, 6, 7, and 8-figure sellers on there. So there's a lot of interaction on getting questions answered and sort of learning from each other. And then we do have the Facebook group as well.
That's amazing. I think that would be invaluable to anyone who's just starting out, to get that connection, get that community going, and have the support of people who are already selling. I might have to get those links off you, Ahmed, so I can pop them up in the YouTube once this gets uploaded, the recording gets uploaded. So people
I'll send them to you.
Yeah, that would be cool. So people can join. And then if people want to get in touch with you, are you still offering coaching one-on-one?
We do. Yeah. So the website is fbaprofits.com. My email address is zubi@fbaprofits.net. So if anybody wants to reach out and contact me, absolutely. And then the links that I'll send you that you can put, there will be, if you join the Telegram group chat, I'm very active on that. So you'll definitely have access to it.
Awesome. So Zubi as in Z-U-B-I?
Z-U-B-I. That's my middle name.
Z-U-B-I. Okay.
Short part of my middle name.
Awesome. And thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure.
We've loved having you, and we will definitely put all those links up on how people can get in touch with you and connect to you through your coaching or your community. I'll be joining us for sure. So I look forward to seeing you soon. And thank you everybody for watching, and catch Debrief live again soon for more exciting interviews and guests. Thanks everybody.